zone.
What up, players? It's the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to yet another week. It is Monday, the 28th day of October, 2024. My name, well, that'd be Nick. And there's Big J right over there.
Hello.
Hey, Big J. How's the weekend? How you doing?
Oh, man. I'm all right. My back hurts.
Your neck, your back?
Oh, man. Yeah, all of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a drop-down, drag-out fight with October.
And who's winning?
October, I think.
It might be undefeated, bro.
I don't know if it's undefeated, but we'll see at the end because we still got a few days.
Wait, you're blaming your back pain on October?
Yeah.
How come?
Sure. I don't know. Everything is catching up with me from earlier in the month.
Yeah, it's been a busy month for sure.
I was like, nothing was going to stop me from doing everything I needed to do.
Yeah, you got to get a good grade.
And it didn't. And no, I'm not even talking about that.
Oh.
It's the least of my concerns is the grade I'm going to get for the weekend. I'm just trying to survive.
But here you are. You did. Mission accomplished. Hang the banner.
Well, I survived the grade. I do not know. There's no place to hang banners in here anymore.
That's not true. There's that place right there, dude.
Nobody
it would look perfectly. Yeah, but we do. And isn't that all that matters?
Sure.
Well, hang on. I think my headphones are broken.
Uh-oh.
Because I know I for sure asked you how you're doing and how your weekend was, and I heard that, and then I didn't hear a thank you, or you didn't ask me anything, so...
Oh, I never do.
Yeah, I guess that's
How was the birthday, though?
It was fantastic. Cash had a wonderful 14th birthday. We had a lot of fun this weekend, even though, once again, as the school year is in session and the seasons change, sickness just creeps into my house on a regular basis with the boys. Ugh. And it's just a constant cycle of one of them having some sort of cold or another, and it never ends. It is a cycle that is just ongoing and forever churning, and like I'm just trying to dodge snot and sneezes like crazy, and it's I don't know if I did it, but damn it, I tried.
Who was sick this time?
It was Cash again.
Oh, man.
And then Jackson started feeling under the weather yesterday. And so it's like, man, a plague has descended upon my house, and I do not know if I will get out alive. So last night, I'm just desanitizing everything, just deep cleaning it, spraying everything down, Lysoling my entire body, and hoping that I made it through alive. We'll see.
Time will tell.
See. Yeah, time will tell. And maybe Big J, October's coming for me too. But I tell you what, it's gonna get a fight I never expected.
Thank God.
And I'll put that on the radio and everything. Today on the show, we have an opportunity to check in with Mrs. Big J. Big J did have a weekend full of, I'm sure, activities he was supposed to do or maybe promised he would do. We will see how he executed those duties or not.
Yeah.
Because the new Call of Duty did come out this weekend, so we'll see.
Yeah,
also
playing the campaign.
There you go. Now, that may be a spoiler alert for our grade that's coming up. We have another clue in the X-Rock murder mystery as we begin week number 2 of that particular event. We have tickets to give away. We will do that, and then we play music. So that makes it a full show. How about the Foo Fighters kicking things off here on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X-Rocks.
Spanning the globe in search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Halfway decent weekend weather this weekend, Big J. It was a nice fall weekend here in the Treasure Valley. Up in the kind of mid to upper 60s. It was comfortable out there. Hope you enjoyed it because it's going away, Big J.
Yeah, we only get one. We only get one fall weekend.
That's right. Because we are going to get into full-on winter pretty much this week with the exception of snow. But it is going to be cold, breezy, lots of showers over the course of the next 7 days, including some days later on in this week with highs in the mid-40s. So it's going to be brisk, baby, as the Lipton Iced Tea commercials used to say. And so you should enjoy, I guess we're fully in hoodie weather, at least now. And then before we know it, it's going to be snowing, and we're going to be complaining about how cold it is. So we got there. We had our fall week, and that was last week. And now we're kind of trending into a little bit colder weather over the course of the next couple of days. So maybe prepare yourselves accordingly. Will you take out the bike in the colder weather, Big J, or have you retired it for the season?
No, I haven't retired it, but I needed to get a battery tender on it because I went to ride it Saturday morning, and it didn't have enough juice to get started.
Is that happen pretty regularly just because of the change in weather kind of a thing?
Yeah,
Or?
and it's a high-performance bike, so it's a little finicky sometimes.
All right.
Like, I need all 14 amps, please.
I am sure that did not make you happy on Saturday when you went to get on and it didn't start, correct?
Yeah, the worst part was having to push it back up the driveway.
Did you blame that on October?
No. I blame that on the temperature.
Is that maybe because why your back hurts? You're pushing your bike all over the
That
place?
could, my neck already hurt Friday, so I don't know.
And your back?
The cascading effect.
Yeah, no, it's not great. It's not great. But get ready for some cooler weather heading into the Treasure Valley over the course of the next 7 days for sure. Well, Big J, you weren't exactly close on your final score prediction for the Boise State Broncos on Friday night. It took a little bit more effort than maybe they had expected, certainly than Big J had expected, but they came out victorious, 29-24, your final score. It wasn't exactly an Ashton Genty type game, but he still ended up doing pretty good. 128 yards on the ground and a touchdown, the winning touchdown for the game, as a matter of fact, helping Boise beat UNLV 29-24 on Friday night. So they still have those college football playoff implications rocking and rolling. The Broncos are kind of trailing pretty much the whole game, but they grabbed the lead on a 1-yard touchdown run by Genty in the fourth, on a fourth and goal, by the way, with about 12 minutes left in the game, and that put the Broncos ahead for good. Wasn't a lot of offense going on this particular game for the Broncos. 209 yards through the air for Maddox Mason. He also had a touchdown. But listen, it's pretty impressive because not only did they jump up a couple of spots in the AP poll, but also they ended up becoming bowl eligible, which is a pretty big deal because the Broncos did that for the 27th consecutive season. That is the nation's second longest active streak behind Georgia at 28. They're also 28-1 coming off of bye weeks, Big J, since 2001. So the week of rest is really good for your Broncos, and that proved to be the case again this weekend. So not necessarily the score you were hoping, but a win is a win. Is it not, Big J?
Yeah, absolutely. And for whatever reason, like I couldn't log into CBS, so I didn't get to watch the game.
Oh, what a bummer.
And so I flipped over, and as I turned on the World Series game, it was in the ninth inning, and I saw that walk-off.
Freddie Freeman
I saw
grand
the
slam?
walk-off grand slam.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, damn.
So you did get some sports action this weekend. That's nice. Did you go to the movies at all?
I did not know.
Not a lot of people did. They were expecting a pretty big weekend for Venom: The Last Dance, and they got the number one movie of the weekend, but I know it sounds weird to say, it only made $51 million. Now, they were expecting somewhere between $65 and $75 million because that's what the first two movies did, but this one was by far the lowest opening of the three-movie franchise, and so that's a problem. Venom opened up to 80 million. Venom Let There Be Carnage opened up to 90 million, and this one 40 million less than that particular movie. So don't know what that means. I haven't seen the cinema score. I don't know if people enjoy it or not. I am not a fan of the Venom series, but that's just me. I know a lot of people that do like it, so whatever your thing is your thing, but they were expecting a little bit more out of The Last Dance. Smile 2 was number 2 at the box office, $10 million. Wild Robot still raking in some money, $7 million. Good enough for number 3. Conclave, number 4. And We Live in Time, number 5 at the box office. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X-Rocks. At Lincoln Park, the Emptiness Machine here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Halloween is Thursday, Big J.
Halloween!
It's been spooky season for a while, so why don't we take a trip down the wonderful path of the psyche of Nick and Big J, shall we?
Okay.
Of course, Halloween means scary things, but let's break it down, Big J. What are you actually most scared of? Because I have a list here of America's biggest actual fears.
Roller coasters.
Roller coasters did not make the list, but that is a
I
good
know.
fear. I know
It's
you
my
do.
fear.
I've seen you and the look in your eyes when you've seen a roller coaster. I know that fear is real. I'm not kidding. I've seen it. I have.
Crazy. What was this?
We were driving in Columbus, Ohio, and we went by that actual whatever the huge gigantic theme park is there, and you saw some of the rides, and you were like looking at it, going, "There's no way in hell I would ever do anything like
myself
that."
just looking at it.
No, I don't think I did see you wet yourself, but roller coasters tops the list. That's the number one thing you're most scared of.
Yeah, I would say so.
The good news is you don't have any kind of real fear of roller coasters attacking you, nor, I can't imagine a situation where you would be faced with get on this roller coaster or bad things happen to you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a fear that you're going to have to face down every single day.
Yeah, the fears you have to face down every day. Is that the fear that we're looking for?
I'm just talking about things you're scared of in life in general, not just,
being
experiences.
alone.
Yeah, you know what? That's number 4 on the list. Growing old and not having anybody to grow old with is number 4. Being lonely, I would say that's there. Now we're talking, Big J. Now we're cooking with grease.
That's why I should try to get a good grade on the weekend.
Anything else on the list besides loneliness and roller coasters for Big J?
I think at this point I have just bad things happening to my kids.
Good news. Nothing that dark has happened and
well,
makes that
I
particular
don't know
list.
where I'm supposed to go with this list.
There is no right or wrong answer. You're telling me what you're scared of, and that's okay. I'm just telling you.
Every time the phone rings or there's a text at this point, and because it's been a rough month.
Oh, God. That's awful.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that's happened here in October that has kicked my ass.
Although maybe I will go ahead. I mean, listen, again, we're getting really dark really quick here, but I would probably maybe couple that into the number one fear of most Americans, and that would be death in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a surprise that is the number one thing that scares all of us. Number 2, dementia. Nobody likes it when their brain slips away. That's a real and honest fear as well. And then we get into things that we can't control or we don't know what's going to happen. Number 3 is spiders, Big J. That's the number 3 biggest fear in America. Number 4, as previously mentioned, loneliness. Number 5, being poor or not having any money, run out of money for whatever reason. Number 6 is frogs, Big J.
Like a frog like a biblical frog storm?
Yeah, some maybe
like
I don't know.
A deluge of frogs,
or just some frog jumping on you unexpectedly. I don't know if it's like that scene in Magnolia, but I mean maybe something like that. Number 7 on the list probably is up there for me. If you want to deep dive into my brain, I have a real fear of failure and letting people down and not wanting to do that or not being good at something. That is always something that haunts me, and I try very hard not to make that happen, probably more than I should. That's up there. Heights comes in at number 8. Snakes, number 9. The ocean, number 10, Big J. These are the biggest fears of people in America. And now you know. Happy Halloween. So I guess maybe we're doing it wrong. I don't see anybody ever dressing up as like a frog on Halloween. We should do that. That's real fear of people. I see clowns. I see all this kind of stuff. Let's go frog.
What are you, a frog?
Yeah. Oh my God. I have this inherent fear of frogs. Why? I don't know. They don't bite or attack or anything. I mean, they're slimy and jumpy and, slippery, but I don't know.
I've told you this before. Mason is scared to death of rabbits.
Yes, you have told me that. And that's
weird. It's like the weirder fears I'm aware of.
Do you think on the frog level it's some sort of weird evolution, like we're creeped out in the that they start as little tadpoles and then they grow into these creatures that have legs in such a short amount of time that it freaks out our brains?
I definitely could profile the creationist versus evolutionist.
See? I told you we were getting into the psyche of things in this particular segment. So whatever it is that you're scared of, hopefully it doesn't haunt you this Halloween, but know that you're certainly not alone. Although I don't know how far down on this list I'd have to go before we got to roller coasters. Do you think maybe that's a heights thing? Is that part of it? Or is it just the lack of control?
It's the lack of control, I think. Because, I'm like a medium height. Like, I don't want to get up on a tall ladder. You get up on the building looking over, that freaks me out. That scares me.
You told me that. You getting up, but I think that's more about the size you used to be than anything else. You having that center of gravity that was up there in that side, that freaked you out.
I don't know about that.
Not so much? Okay.
No.
But you can look out an airplane window and not get freaked out.
I have zero problem.
Yeah.
Zero problem.
I don't know if
it's intermediate heights.
Where you're like, if I fall, I will do some serious damage to me.
I'll just break my legs, maybe be paralyzed, but I won't be dead.
Whereas if you fall from this height and it kills you, you'd be like, what are you going to do?
I need to be above terminal velocity, I guess.
Okay. Now we know. Yeah, weirdly, it didn't get into that kind of specifics in this list. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We will talk to Mrs. Big J about Big J's weekend next on the X. That's the White Stripes. That is 7 Nation Army here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We already heard from Big J how his weekend was. but we got to get down to brass tacks. We got to find out the true story.
What's the truth?
We do our own research on this show. And so we have to decide, how did Big J's weekend really go according to the woman that was by his side all weekend, his wife. Kylie joins us on the show on Mondays to report on her husband. Kylie, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thank you for getting up early and joining us on the show. Big J had said that he wasn't feeling all that great this weekend, a little bit sore, so maybe that impacted some of the things he was supposed to do around the house. Agree or disagree?
Well, I disagree. He was playing video games a lot this weekend because a new game came out.
Right.
So he could be injured from sitting in his chair. I don't know.
Jesus.
But you did do a lot, though. You went to Dutch. You went and got donuts. You helped me load up the car.
Oh.
So, I mean, you did some things, He never mowed the last time we talked. So
okay.
I ended up mowing.
Okay.
But I asked him to edge, at least 3 times. And he was like, "Rrr." But overall, very good weekend. Very good weekend. And he did do stuff.
Well, good. That is good. All right.
I forgot the laundry.
You were supposed to do it?
No,
and
I
you
did
forgot it?
laundry. I did laundry.
Oh, she forgot the laundry.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Did he in
He
fact?
did.
Okay, good. So that's a check in the right direction. Now, when you go to Dutch for the entire family, Big J, because that's something that comes up a lot in this segment, do you get something for yourself as well? Is this a Dutch family trip, or do you go
usually
exclusively for other people? See, this is a kind gesture.
Because I
good.
don't like their coffee offerings.
Right, you've said that.
But I did have some hot cocoa this week.
All right, listen, there's nothing wrong with some hot cocoa. It's getting nippy out there, so
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So basically, as long, Kylie, as there was something to do inside the sanctity of your home, it was done. Anything outside, it got a little bit sketchy?
Yes.
I mean, I also went to work. I
That's
also
true.
did that. But here's the one thing too is that has changed here recently is that she now has one of the days off on the weekend. She has Sundays off.
Okay.
So that changes things a little bit as well. There's more harassment and nagging that goes on Sunday.
When it's your day of rest, you should be watching football during this day. That's God's day, Kylie. You know that, right?
Absolutely. But Saturday is his day of rest also for college football.
I guess she's right.
Yeah. Usually Saturday's my day of rest from her and the nagging.
Okay. All right. And of course, yes, you Kylie had mentioned it. You had mentioned it as well. There was a new video game, and I'm sure these duties aren't going to call themselves. You had to take care of that over the weekend as well. Did you finish the campaign, or will there be more video
not
gaming
even close
to do?
because it's long.
All right. You like that.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Very good. So, Kylie, we need an actual letter grade. How did Big J do for the weekend in your eyes?
He gets a B+.
Hey, dude.
A what?
B+.
A B+?
Yeah.
That's great.
B+.
That's
I'm
a
gonna slack off all week now.
That's a good grade. What were you expecting, Big J?
I always expect a C
Okay.
from her.
You're gunning
So-
for average. That's what you're going for, but you were above average plus this particular weekend. So congratulations, Big J. Enjoy the victory. Do we get to see a victory lap?
Yeah, no.
All right. Well,
Figure out something to do next weekend.
his back hurts, but Kylie, thank you as always for checking in. We appreciate you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay.
You too. Take care.
Thank
Love
you,
ya.
Kylie. She's the best, and Big J got a
She
B
is.
plus for the weekend. I believe you have done a really good job of setting the bar low when you're setting up this segment, so
Yeah.
that when you get a good grade, it shocks everybody. But I think you're doing a pretty good job.
Hey,
Big
thanks,
J.
man.
You're welcome.
But that's what I'm here to do, shock people.
That's right. That's why it's called Shocktober around here. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your Big J grade. We got ourselves some important stuff. It's next on the X Rocks.
Important stuff
Launch newsfeed.
on the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, I think given the opportunity, you would describe yourself as a manly man, yes?
I'm a manly man. I don't know, not so much these days.
What's the matter?
I don't know.
I mean, you got a nice beard on you, right?
Sure. I feel like shying away from physical labor. I don't think that's very manly.
Well, let's go through the traits. You like football, yes?
Yeah.
You ride a motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
You like books about war,
Yeah, I love guns.
pornography. So you, I would say, qualify
Okay.
as a manly man.
Yeah.
Now, you want the bad news?
Oh, no.
The University of Chicago says you're as good as dead, pal.
Yeah, well.
The study focused on men who chose to conform to more masculine behaviors, like those kind of things that we talked about, being self-reliant, enjoying red meat, shunning vegetables. These are all part of the Big J DNA. But out of the 4,000 male participants, almost 75% of them ended up with heart problems and diabetes problems, hypertensions, all sorts of stuff.
I'm already there, so I what of it?
They're just saying it's not good. They're saying these habits may lead to unhealthy things, and it's probably not great for your heart if you go down this particular road and do all these particular stuff. Now, of course, they also think that social pressures lead to this particular type of stuff. You know, you see this is how you're supposed to act if you want to be considered a manly man, and you don't take into account the other health problems that could go along with it. And next thing you know, you have yourself some sort of, little bit of fatty buildup around the heart, and things go bad. Start feeling some numbness in your left arm, and then things go sour. You understand? So the University of Chicago says, yeah, exactly. It's like an SNL skit.
Yeah.
You better just mind your P's and Q's is what it boils down to. And live your life how you want to live your life, Big J, but understand the risks. You understand?
Sure.
Have we gotten there? Do you understand them? Nope. You kind of do. Come on.
Listen, if I had a better understanding of my mental health, I would never be in this precarious situation.
No, but you are getting better at it. You see those problems and the mistakes that you've made, and you're trying to correct them.
That's
so
right.
you are being more cognizant of those particular things.
Now it's too late.
Not necessarily.
Nah. The study just says I'm good as dead.
No. I said that. The study says you got a 25% chance of doing just fine.
Oh, okay.
So see, maybe you love being in the minority of things. Maybe that could be that case too. Hey, your Broncos won on Friday. It wasn't as ugly or as a beatdown as Big J maybe thought, but the final score was 29-24. At the end of the day, the Broncos win. They move up 2 spots in the AP poll. They're up to number 15 in the nation. Ashton Genty, the nation's leading rusher, didn't exactly have an Ashton Genty type game, but you know what? Go ahead, score for the touchdown. Had 128 yards on the ground, so that's nothing to sneeze at either. And the Broncos, who struggled on offense throughout that game, found a way to win. And these are games where maybe sometimes in years past they would not have found a way to win. So you have to give them credit there.
Yeah.
And so good job by your Boise State Broncos for picking up another win. Some exciting games in the NFL yesterday. The New England Patriots ended up knocking off the Jets, sending them to their fifth straight loss after a last-second touchdown gave them the win. Packers win with a last-second field goal for the second week in a row to improve to 6-2. We had a Hail Mary that ended up giving the Washington Commanders a victory over the Chicago Bears yesterday, 18-15 in a game that was crazy back and forth. The Kansas City Chiefs remain undefeated. Your 49ers, Big J, winning on Sunday Night Football over the Dallas Cowboys in a game that looked like it was over in the third quarter, and then somehow Dallas came back.
You ever heard that before?
I was watching.
Looked like a perfectly good 49ers win, but hold on. Enter Coach Shanahan.
I was watching the game. There was 3 minutes left. The 49ers had the ball, and I'm like, well, they got to do is run it 3 times. And they didn't run it once.
No.
And I was
this is what I'm talking about, dude.
Are they doing?
This is what I'm talking about.
I know. But they won. They won.
Choke-a-hand. Despite choke-a-hand, they won.
The Philadelphia Eagles win big over the Bengals. Detroit looks like they might be the best team in the NFL with a 52-14 win over the Titans. Falcons secured first place in their division with a victory. Nice win by the Cardinals yesterday, knocking off the Miami Dolphins in Miami on a last-second field goal, and probably the upset of the weekend, Cleveland, with Jameis Winston looking like maybe he would be the answer quarterback all along, knocking off the Ravens in a pretty interesting game as well.
You realize we have totally switched places? Because like 8 or 9 years ago, it was you complaining about your team that wins on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And about how your coach screws it up all the time, and that they're winning despite the coach.
Yes.
Now I'm here. This is me.
I know.
Yeah.
And isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
And people thought I was nuts. Look at him now. McCarthy's crapping all over himself every single week.
I know.
And it feels good to be right, but I am so glad that Mike McCarthy is not the coach of my team anymore. I can't even tell you. Big J, everybody is going all in on Wicked. Do you think it's going to do as well as the box office as all these things?
I want to see it.
I do too. I enjoyed the play.
So that already immediately should send alarm bells. Like, why would I want to see this?
Why do you want to see it?
I don't know. It looks interesting. It looks good. I don't know. But I've seen the trailer a couple times. I'm like, I kind of want to see that.
And you are aware it's a musical, right? Okay.
I said, hey, guys, I don't think I'm okay. Why do I want to see this?
It does look good. And again, the play is fantastic. So the only thing I'm bummed out about, and you should probably know this going in as well, it's split up into 2 parts. So you're not going to get a full story in this particular movie. But Everybody's going kind of behind the scenes and kind of going all in on this. NBC is going to air a behind-the-scenes special called Defying Gravity. That's the name of one of the songs in the movie, Big J. The curtain rises on Wicked. It's going to air on November 19th. It's going to feature all the stars sharing insights and personal stories about the making of the film before it comes out just in time for Christmas and the holiday season. So if you are looking forward to Wicked like Big J is, maybe you want to check out the documentary, giving you a little bit of a teaser for it, as it will go to NBC and then Peacock on November 19th.
Peacock.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Is that like War? We have to say Peacock that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, you ready for another clue in the X-Rock Murder Mystery, bro?
God, yes.
It's coming up next on the X-Rock.
Bring to light stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
All rise.
Uh-oh.
We have a very special edition of Judge Big J. Hi, Judge Big J.
Hey.
I will be... Oh, the gavel has been thrown down. Can we be seated or we have to stand?
Sit down.
Wonderful. Thank you. I will be representing the prosecution in People versus JetBlue Airlines, Big J. And
Guilty.
I have never flown on a JetBlue flight, so I'm not talking from experience, but from everything that I've read and researched, it almost seems like a fate worse than death, Big J.
Yeah.
Because, like, these planes barely work. It's supposed to be super cheap, and it acts every way. Like, they're very dirty. Everything is charged. Like, they charge you for a seatbelt. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like everything is extra and above and beyond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have a situation here where a young woman was flying from New Jersey to Paris, France. You've been there before.
Yeah.
And she was on a JetBlue Airways flight to that particular location.
Atlantic? Ugh.
And as you know, if you fly intercontinental, you are given some amenities not to give into a lot of continental flights, i.e. several meals, an opportunity to say yes or no. All sorts of things are given to you because these flights are long, L-O-N-G, long.
Yeah.
And so the young lady was served what she thought was a nice little treat on her way to Paris, France, a delicious ice cream sandwich, Big J.
Oh, yummy.
And she is charging that JetBlue Airways gave her a sweet treat that was, quote, at a temperature below what is reasonable or safe for consumption. It's called dangerously cold, Big J. And she was not warned of how cold the ice cream sandwich was, and so she unwrapped that son of a gun and was ready to dive in. Let's go. And she does, and next thing you know, crunch. But it wasn't the ice cream sandwich that was making that crunch, Big J. If you bite into an ice cream sandwich and you hear a crunch, that's probably not good.
Yeah, it's probably your jaw breaking.
Close. It was one of her teeth.
Yeah.
And it was her left front incisor. It's basically the one right next to your front teeth. And it went ahead and fell right out of her skull after she took a bite out of this particular ice cream sandwich. And obviously that meant a lot of pain, and she's stuck on an airplane. There's not much you can do in that particular state. But right off of the airplane, she had to go get dental treatment in France. I don't know. Going to any kind of medical treatment of any kind in a foreign country seems something that I wouldn't do, just because you don't understand the language. You know what I mean? And so it's difficult to navigate that system. God knows what's going on, but
might get better care.
That's how she had to spend part of her vacation, was in a dentist's office. And so she is suing JetBlue Airways for $2.5 million.
Whoa.
So I ask you, Big J, this feels like not a frivolous lawsuit, something that should be done. There should be some sort of compensation for her pain, her suffering, and all that kind of stuff. $2.5 million, right on point. Too much, too little, what?
No, it's wait, that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount. I don't think, I mean, it's an ice cream sandwich. You know it's going to be hard. I mean, so you can tell that. I don't know. I mean, sure, she's probably entitled to something, but that seems egregious.
All right, well, Judge Big J, I ask you, how much will you give my client for her pain and suffering?
$100.
Jesus.
Well, what would happen if she was at home having I mean, she should be suing the ice cream sandwich company.
That's crazy, Big J. They don't.
That makes more sense to me.
How does that make sense?
I don't know, but blaming the airline because it's too cold.
Well, that's where the temperature is gauged at how cold or how not cold a sandwich is. Now, listen, there are precedents set for this. You remember the tea or the coffee being spilled on that lady at McDonald's that got tens of millions of dollars? Now, I'm also part of this story is there is precedent set against JetBlue as well. There have been several lawsuits filed and won by people worth $1.5 million for some hot tea being spilled on them on several flights. And so you're going to give her $100 for having her tooth broke. That's pretty messed up, dude.
$175.
No, I moved to have this case dismissed. I want to take it to another judge.
All right, please.
You're outrageous.
Get this out of my damn courtroom.
You go back to traffic violation. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. Coming up in a few minutes, some important stuff. We also will have your pop culture smackdown. It is all on the way on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, we've talked about this before. I think you and I have come to the conclusion that we probably will work until the day we die. Agree or disagree?
Until the day we die.
Oh, it's a good song.
I'm going to become a singer.
Retirement is an option for some people, but not for all people, you know? And I would believe that I certainly fall in the category of somebody that has not done a good enough job of preparing myself for something that would come my way at normal retirement age. At 65, that's not a reality for me.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as 22% of Americans. They are just coming to the realization, or at least have, that they're going to have to work past retirement age. But depending on what state you're in, you have a more likelihood of doing this or not. And they broke it down, and more than 30% of residents in 5 particular states in the United States of America work past 65 or older. New Jersey leads the way in the United States, where 34% of their population is still working after the age of 65. North Dakota comes in second, 32%. Maryland comes in third, 31%. New Hampshire and Connecticut come in fourth and fifth, where these are just people that like to continue to, nose to the grindstone, baby, keep on making that money, working past the age of 65, whether they enjoy it or they absolutely have to. It doesn't say. It's just a breakdown of ages. Now, Big J, I ask you, what states where people retire the most in the United States of America?
They retire the most.
Yeah, they're not working past the age of 65, whether it's official retirement or not.
Let's go the Dakotas.
No, because
they're dead.
One of them was already in the top 5, so no, that's wrong.
All right.
West Virginia and Missouri lead the way.
West Virginia again.
16% of older adults work past retirement age. So if you're in that part of the country, you're just like, I'm done. Idaho, right smack dab in the middle, Big J, about 24% of people over the age of 65 still working. A little bit higher than average, but again, I believe at least I'm going to be part of that 24%. You going to join me, buddy?
Yeah.
We're going to do this until one of us keels over? Is that the way this is going to work?
Yeah, right here on the air.
Oh, God, what a horrible fate that would be. Do not say that. That's a terrible jinx.
Jinx.
I'm just saying, what a terrible way to go. On the radio? Like at the board?
Yeah.
I wonder if this happened before. That's had to have
Absolutely.
happened, right?
Yeah.
What a nightmare. And now you got the cameras in here so everybody would see it?
Well, if they're, depends on who's dying. Like, if I'm dying, they might not even be on yet, so.
Well, if it's on the radio, yes, they would be done. I mean, in your scenario, it's on the air, right?
Well, I got to hit the button.
Yeah, but the cameras are going when we're on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would be going.
If I hit the button.
Oh, so sometimes you forget.
Or if I die in the middle of it or before I hit the button.
Well, what I'm saying is if we're talking on the air, the button would have been pressed, correct?
Let's just during the X-Rock Murder Mystery Clue.
Right, understood. Hey, the Broncos win against UNLV on Friday, 29-24. That was a big win. They needed a fourth quarter touchdown by Ashton Genty to get there and put them ahead for good, but it did end up happening. Moved up a couple of spots into the top 15 now here in the poll, so congratulations. The Broncos continue to kind of lead the way to make the college football playoffs. Still lots of games to happen. They also became bowl eligible for the 27th consecutive season. Big J, you play long enough in the NBA like LeBron James, you're going to break records pretty much every time you step foot on the court, and he broke another one. This one, not exactly a great one, but listen, again, you play long enough, you're going to break pretty much every record. Mm-hmm. Most recently, he broke the record for most missed shots in NBA history. The question to you, Big J, is Who owned that record before LeBron James broke it?
I don't know. Let's go Will Chamberlain.
Nope, not Will Chamberlain. A little bit more modern era.
Modern era.
Yeah.
Let's go with Kobe.
Yep, Kobe was your record holder before that. 14,481 missed shots. LeBron broke that record over the weekend, and I'm sure LeBron will continue to make shots and miss shots and keep rewriting the record books as he moves forward. So I guess congratulations, but hey, listen, it's a record. A record is a record. I don't know how to feel about this, Big J. Do you remember the old popular computer game back when we were little kids called Oregon Trail?
Oh, of course, man.
I have a soft spot in my heart for that particular game.
All do.
And I have some artwork in my house that pays tribute to that video game. And now Apple is developing a movie adaptation of that computer game called Oregon Trail. It will be directed by Will Speck and Josh Gordon. The movie that they made before this was Lyle Crocodile. And it's going to be maybe a little bit of a musical, too, is what I'm guessing. It will be written by the Lucas brothers, who penned the really good movie Judas and the Black Messiah. And then basically the idea is it will follow a covered wagon train heading west to the style of 19th century pioneer times. The video game was created in 1971. It had a cult following among grade schoolers in the 80s and 90s. And, of course, it had darkly humorous storylines as well. Like, you would die of a broken arm, of dysentery, of course.
Dysentery.
A snake bite would kill you. There's all sorts of different ways that you would be murdered along the Oregon Trail, usually by some awful and painful way. And I look forward to them bringing it to the big screen, maybe? I don't know. I mean, one of the parts of that game was you didn't really have any connection. There was no story. You were just trying to get from point A to point B without dying, which is insane when you think about it. But it was fun at the time. I mean, listen, every time I had downtime, my ass wanted to play Oregon Trail, right?
Yeah.
It was a good time. Did you ever make it to Oregon, Big J?
No.
Oh, never? Not once? How far'd you get?
I don't remember.
You ever cross that mighty Mississippi?
Yes.
Wonderful. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We will have your Pop Culture Smackdown. That's going to happen next on the X Rock.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and it's Monster Jam week because Monster Jam is happening this weekend out at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. God, I love Monster Jam. It's so much fun. So we're going to hook somebody up with some tickets here, and you and a friend or whoever can go out there and enjoy the fun this weekend with some Monster Jam action. And you just got to beat me in Pop Culture Smackdown.
If you're not jamming monsters, what are you doing, Big J?
That's right, especially during Halloween.
208-287-1003. That is our phone number if you want to go check out Monster Jam on us. Of course, that's the easy part, dialing our number. The hard part is taking down Big J and seeing if you can claim the title of Pop Culture King for the day against the man himself, who has won more of these battles than he's ever given credit for.
Oh, thanks,
but
man.
it's an opportunity for you to try and get it done today. Can you climb the mountain? We will see. 208-287-1003. What? You don't like
that's a big mountain, man.
You don't like my analogies that I
hell
make?
of an introduction.
Thanks, buddy. If you want to play, let's see if we can do it. Are you ready, Big J?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Corey.
Corey, you're up first. Corey, the line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat," originated in what blockbuster movie?
Oh, you're going to need a bigger boat.
It's like this, Corey. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Josh.
Yeah!
Right.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Big J, the hero of Tom Clancy's work, Jack Ryan, has been played by lots of people in lots of different movies. Which actor portrayed him in the movie The Sum of All Fears?
Ben Affleck.
That is correct.
Right.
Corey, back
Terrible
to you. What band had hit songs like Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova in the 1990s?
Oasis.
Right.
Correct. Big J, in both the original musical version and the Oscar-winning version that Steven Spielberg put together, what were the name of the rival gangs in West Side Story?
I have no idea, dude. Not a damn clue.
No?
No, not even. I've never watched West Side Story.
Huh. But not even through osmosis and pop culture references did you pick
think,
it up?
I mean, at some point, probably, but not a clue, man.
Wow. Now do you want to guess?
No, because I have no reference to guess from.
All right. Corey, that means you win. Do you happen to know the names of the rival gangs in West Side Story?
He doesn't know.
I don't.
It's the
I have
Jets
no clue.
and the Sharks.
Right.
When you're a Jet for life, Big J. The snaps.
No.
You get it. Corey, congratulations. Hang on 1 second. We are going to hook you up with those Monster Jam tickets. Enjoy that on us. There's your Pop Culture Smackdown. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some headlines. They're next on the X.
News you can barely use. It's headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines are as follows, Big J. Oh, man, I like the way that pizza smells. Take and bake, or just what we need.
Just what we need.
American Airlines is testing a change to their boarding process. What they want to do, Big J, is start to effectively shame those that are trying to get on board early. Right now, if you try to board and it's not your turn to do so yet, the person at the front gate will turn you away. But in this new, improved way, if you try to do that, a huge alert will go off if they scan your ticket ahead of your assigned group. The change is currently being tested at Albuquerque International Airport, Tucson International Airport, and Ronald Reagan Washington International Airport. The new technology is designed to ensure customers receive the benefits of priority boarding with ease and helps improve the boarding experience, according to American Airlines. The question is it something that we actually needed? Like, I mean, if you're getting turned away anyway, do we need, like, a gigantic alarm to go off? Or can we spend that money on other things that probably would improve the flying process a little bit better?
Seems directed in a negative way as well.
Yes. Is that a problem? Like, I mean, I guess I don't know. You are a little bit more familiar with the way that it works. I don't think I've ever had anybody, like, board before me that I would think it would be an issue. I've never seen anybody turned away, I guess. Do you think they just let them on?
But who freaking cares?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, again, now, especially with Southwest changing, all of these things have assigned seats. What's the hurry? You know where your ass is going to be. Yeah. Why do you need to get on the plane at I mean, are you dragging a ridiculous amount of baggage? Probably not. They won't let you anymore. So I'm trying to figure out what the benefits are for you to try to skip ahead when you have an assigned seat already. I don't think there are any, right?
I don't think so either.
I mean, unless you are going to be in a completely different seat. But hey, listen, whatever. To each their own. If we want to shame people, because we're always saying, how can we make people stand out more and feel worse about themselves? It's a great way to make this happen.
Right.
Because, I mean, I really also don't know if this is necessarily done on purpose a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least I like to think that. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, I like the way that pizza smells, or take and bake?
Take and bake, baby.
A Wisconsin store has apologized for making pizzas with THC. Public Health Madison and Dane County reported that Famous Yeti's Pizza in Stoughton used oil, not realizing that the oil contained cannabis. Now, anybody who ate the pizza became super sick because they used way too much of it normally with the pizza, thinking it was regular oil. And so the company's like, we want to assure you that we are not going to do it again. All affected products has been destroyed. Famous Yetis has been working closely with local authorities to improve the storage and security protocols. The pizzeria said in a statement online. The real question here is, marijuana is still illegal in Wisconsin, so where that came from, why they have it is another issue altogether.
And how you must have been super high to get the oils confused when you're making the pizza.
You would think, because, there's a specific smell when it comes to the things that you're using THC-infused stuff with. But hey, listen, when you're that high, you're probably not paying attention. Or maybe it was one of those deals where they're like making special pies on the side and didn't realize they were using all that particular oil. I don't know. We'll wrap it up with, I like the way that pizza smells. The German police in Dusseldorf raided a pizzeria of their own, Big J, that was suspected of serving cocaine with a special meal. Reportedly, if you ordered a number 40 from this particular menu, it would come with something extra, and it was one of the most sold pizzas at the pizzeria, according to the criminal director in Dusseldorf. When the police raided the 36-year-old owner's apartment, he allegedly tossed a bag of drugs out the window, which then fell into officers' arms. This is like out of a movie. Toss that stash right into where police is landing below the window, catching the bag of drugs. Also, making pizzas out of your apartment is a pizzeria now? Is that how that works in Germany? I've never been.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's like Loverboy style. You order the number 40, you get a bunch of cocaine with your pizza.
Yeah, instead of extra anchovy.
Yeah, essentially they're a drug dealer. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, There's your headlines. You're up to date on pretty much everything. It is the X Rocks. Jay's buddy Jelly Roll and Liar here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. We know yesterday was NFL Sunday. You were probably watching a lot of NFL. Yeah. There were some great, fantastic games. But if that was the only sports that you consumed yesterday, you missed out on one of the funniest things that ever happened in the history of sports. Because as the NBA season got kicked off over the last week as well, they started rolling out some celebrations in particular parts, and one of them was down in Miami. And a long time ago, a couple years ago, they decided they wanted to build a statue of Dwayne Wade, one of the best players in Miami Heat history, at the stadium right outside the Kaseya Center there in Miami. And yesterday was the unveiling of the Dwayne Wade statue, and the man was there himself. And it was one of the most funny things I've seen in a long time, watching Dwayne Wade react to the statue that they had built for him.
Yeah, and I mean, if you take his comments out of context, it's even funnier.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he didn't mean to say what he was saying.
Right.
But once you see the statue and you understand that it looks nothing like Dwayne Wade
at all.
Here's the comments after the unveiling. He said that he never expected this moment. Quote, "I didn't play for this. I didn't pick up the basketball for this. I picked up the basketball to change my family's life." And if you put that in context with him looking up at the statue, you could see him being like, "God, this statue sucks."
He also said, "This is crazy. Who is that guy?" But that was also out of context because it had more to do with the speech that he had prepared. But all the clips that you see are him just saying, "Who is that guy?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, who is that guy?"
And here's the thing: that's how all kinds of stuff on the internet gets just it's wrought with bad information, but it fits and it's hilarious. And Jeff Darlington, a reporter for ESPN, he joked. He said, "The Miami Heat should have had a contest where they showed this picture to 1,000 fans, and anyone who guessed was Dwayne Wade gets to keep the statue."
No kidding, because I mean, it looks more like Lawrence Fishburne than it does Dwayne Wade.
Right.
But I mean, this seems to happen more. I mean, it happens a lot in sports for whatever reason, but like there's that Lucille Ball statue that doesn't look anything like Lucille Ball. There's the Cristiano Ronaldo statue that doesn't look anything like Cristiano Ronaldo. They had to actually redo it. And this one is just another in the long line. Like, even if you go to Arizona and see the Pat Tillman statue, it doesn't look anything like Pat Tillman.
Yeah, that was a huge controversy too.
And it's because like it's a hard thing to do to capture emotion and celebration and screaming in a forever face. And the more they try to do it, the more I'm like, you need to put a moratorium on like people screaming in statues. It just doesn't work out. Yeah. But this one is unrecognized. If he wasn't wearing the Miami number 3 jersey, ain't no way anybody would know who this is.
I think facial hair is also a problem.
You might be right.
When it comes to these statues or brass or whatever the metal is they use, they just can't represent what it's supposed to look like properly.
But it's amazing that it's the year 2024 and you can go back like centuries and Michelangelo's David looks more like a human being than this does in this particular statue.
Here's the thing. We don't have like pictures of what those people look like either. So, that could be just, hey, I'm going to make the best sculpture I can here.
I get it,
and
but
not trying to represent what an actual person looks like.
It's a neutral look on the face, I guess. Yeah. Makes you look more human than it does if you have your like the eyes are closed in this statue and he's screaming and it's a weird look and it doesn't look anything like Dwayne Wade. But it was very, very funny to see this thing come down and everybody, you could hear like people go, "Huh?" Like they didn't know what the hell was going on. It's wonderful.
Who's that? Who's that
wonderful.
Guy?
We got to stop making statues of people, man.
Yeah.
There's other ways we can pay tribute to them.
At this point now, I mean, and plus, think about this, the expense.
Yeah.
Of how expensive it is to make one of these statues. Just put up a damn holograph of the guy.
You know that wasn't cheap.
And here's the reason why. So once that we have the statue up of the person, and then 10 years later down the road, we find out what a terrible human being they are. Instead of having to tear it down, we can just turn off the holograph and replace it with somebody else.
That is good for now until they're not. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Your chance to win something from us with some bad impressions. That's next on the X Rocks.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and for bad impressions here, we got some tickets for you to Monster Jam. Happening Friday out at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. Always a fun show. So we'll get you set up with those tickets. You just need to figure out the clues here today. And not a human. It's a band.
Bands aren't human?
Well, I mean, they're human beings.
Okay. 208-287-1003 is the number you need to call if you'd like these Monster Jam tickets and enjoy some fun on us. Now, of course, you have to figure out who Big J's trying to be. He'll give you 3 clues to help you get there. And today's particular clues are going to revolve around a famous band. You nail that band, and boom, you are good to go. Good luck to everybody. Big J, are you ready?
Yep.
Then to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hey, yes, bad impression, sir. You're up first. Good luck.
Yeah, it's a band, by the way, not a person, all right?
Okay.
In the beginning, we kept our true identities a secret, and people were loving it, speculating Dave Grohl was even in the band, even though we're Swedish.
What's the next one?
The lead singer has numerous alter egos named Papa Emeritus and have gone through 4 different versions, along with a Cardinal Copia.
Third one?
Our band is very theatrical, leaning into the occult and satanic stuff with albums like Malaria, Prequel, and Impera.
Dang, Swedish band. I don't think I know this one. Is it Gojira?
It is not. They're French.
Sorry, man. Thanks for playing. Good. That should have been another hint.
Good.
Nobody would get that but you or me, but still. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hi, did you hear the clues or would you like them again?
I need the clues.
It's a band, by the way. In the beginning, we kept our true identities a secret, and people were loving it, speculating Dave Grohl was in the band, even though we're Swedish.
Okay, one more.
The lead singer has had numerous alter egos named Papa Emeritus and have gone through 4 different versions, as well as a Cardinal Copia.
Emeritus.
Okay, last one.
This band is very theatrical, leaning into the occult and satanic stuff with albums like Malaria, Prequel, and Impera.
Is it Ghost?
Yes, it's Ghost.
You nailed it. Congratulations. Hang on one second. We are going to send you to Monster Jam. Hold tight. We will hook you up with those tickets. Why is Ghost in the news, Big J?
The Ghost band there, they announced this morning a world tour for 2025, kicking off in April, making landfall here in the United States in July, and we'll be on a lengthy trip and, not coming super close here. Las Vegas, San Diego, Denver, here in the west part of the country, and it ends in September with the Mexico City spot, and there'll be more after that as well. I'm not sure when that's going to be, or one of these days if Boise will be back on their list, but it should be.
Yeah, they're back playing huge arenas. That's why they're kind of skipping over the smaller towns. God, remember that show at the Knitting Factory? How much fun that was!
God, man, they were so good. I mean, listen, we've been on the Ghost train for a very, very long time, and it's been a lot of fun. One of Ghost's emissaries was here a couple weeks ago talking about they got new music on the way, so it's going to be a lot of fun, man, and a new Papa, too.
We were lucky enough to have that band come in and perform acoustically in an X session, too. Another day that we will not forget around here. So much fun. That was back when nobody knew Tobias, and everything was top secret, and we had to do a bunch of stuff to make that happen, but
Super cool.
It was worth it. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We wrap up the show next on the X. 3 Doors Down, Kryptonite here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. That's going to wrap up the old show for Monday. Thank you for hanging out with us. Congratulations to Big J, who got himself a B+. I do believe that's the highest grade ever achieved for a Big J weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
What's the matter?
Well, I think I've had far better weekends.
All
She
right.
was just trying to be nice.
Is that what it is? She knows you've had a rough go of it and she wants to make you feel better? You know what that is, dude? That's love. You should be happy about that.
Yeah, we're very, very much in love with each other.
Good. Would you give your love an A?
Absolutely.
Nice. See?
Yeah.
It all comes back to the grading system, you guys. And, of course, we also had a chance to give away some Monster Jam tickets. That will continue tomorrow as well. We had a small but debatable case of Judge Big J this morning for We're Going to Hell, and we did get another clue in the X-Rock murder mystery. We'll see if it gets solved today. If not, another clue will come your way at 7:30, and that leaves you at the floor, sir.
Yeah, speaking of that clue today we debuted, this is one of those weird coincidences like you could never plan, and if you could, you'd be a freak of nature. Our clue today involves one Mr. Bill Gates. It's Bill Gates' birthday today.
Yeah, when you told me that, it blew my mind. Because that murder mystery has been written for a very long time and produced even further in advance. And the fact that the clue actually fell on Bill Gates' birthday is super weird and very coincidental.
Yeah, everybody should take note.
One of those things that make you believe in higher power, right?
Yeah.
Should I invest in Microsoft today then?
Yes.
Can I borrow some money?
No.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. That's going to do it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Jason Drew is next. It's the X Rocks.